Oh! Hold on. There you go. Right there. Perfect. There you go. Listen to that.
In the storied history of bodybuilding, perhaps there is no rivalry as richly engaging as that between Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sergio Oliva. Their tense conflict came to a head in an odd series of events that could have only occurred in that nexus of eccentricity, the city of Tijuana. This is the tale of the Tijuana Showdown. The history of Schwarzenegger and Oliva began the first time Arnold caught a glimpse of Sergio. On his initial trip to America in 1968, and at just 21 years old, Arnold lost the Mr. Universe title to Frank Zane. And then he saw Sergio take the stage and captivate the audience with his mass, dimensions, and symmetry. Arnold walked away with the realization that he had a long way to go. With a year of hard training under his belt, Arnold came back the following year and took the Mr. Universe title in 1969. However, when he took to the stage in the Mr. Olympia contest, he lost a close decision to Sergio, who claimed his third Olympia trophy. Arnold went back to the gym and came back even bigger, broader, and better proportioned for the following year. And in 1970, Arnold defeated Oliva at the Mr. World Show in Columbus, Ohio, and at the Olympia in New York. The fiery competition was dampened the following year when interfederation politics prevented competition between the two. But the myth, Sergio Oliva, was ready in 1972. In his best shape ever, think tiny waist, tree trunk thighs, and huge arms, Oliva took the Olympia stage only to suffer a brutal defeat to a slightly overweight Schwarzenegger. Claiming that Joe Weider had orchestrated a fix for his rising star, Sergio returned home to find solace and support among his community of fans, friends, and family. The next and final showdown would be the most unusual, and it happened down in Old Mexico. In 1973, a former bodybuilder and striving promoter named Eddie Sylvester was holding the Mr. International and the Mr. International Azteca contests in Tijuana. Surprisingly, Oliva showed up to compete. Unsurprisingly, he easily won the title of Mr. International. Then, he took the stage as the lone entrant in the Mr. International Azteca show. Confidence brimming, muscles bursting, and voice booming, he called out to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was sitting in the first row of spectators. In both English and Spanish, Oliva was Cuban-born, he called out to the audience, demanding that Arnold meet him on stage where they could be judged on an even playing field. Feeling that the Olympia was rigged, Sergio felt that a man could only get a fair shake in Tijuana. Arnold didn't take the challenge. Instead, his friend and fellow bodybuilder, the Sardinian strongman Franco Colombo, stood up and took to the stage. After a pose down between the two, the promoter Sylvester raised the hand of both bodybuilders. But the opinion of the crowd was clear. Sergio had dominated the performance. After the Tijuana Showdown, tensions between Sergio and Arnold continued, but they never again shared the bodybuilding arena. Politics inside of the IFBB prevented Oliva from entering the Olympia competition later that year. Nonetheless, the story of Tijuana remains. For more of these old stories, this history of physical culture, click subscribe.